All right, bear with me, bear down. This one's going to take a little patience from you guys on your part because I am hoarse. I'm already shot a little bit. I've had a head cold. I had something, and there's very few times when I've told you guys this video is going to be a banger, and it wasn't a banger. And I'm not trying to pat myself on the back or float my own boat, but this is one you're going to want to see. You can talk around the water cooler at work today, whatever. You're going to see this, and you're going to say, "Holy crap, Caleb is farther along than we thought." Now, I give realistic takes on this channel. For those who aren't familiar with the channel, I'm very realistic. Caleb is one of the least accurate quarterbacks in the league so far, but his pocket awareness and understanding make me say he's a top 10 quarterback already. And if he can get the accuracy fixed, very similar to Jordan Love, if he can fix that accuracy, he's going to be a top 5 quarterback, top 3 quarterback, top quarterback in this league. So this is an all-22 review. I'm doing this freaking sucker at 2 in the morning. I shouldn't be. I should be sleeping to fix this freaking head cold. But I know something else is going to happen tomorrow. The Bears are going to sign someone of them. There's something else to cover, and I got to get this out because we're already 3 days removed from the Bears-Commanders game, and this is worth showing. Nobody else has been talking about this. So this is going to be about Caleb, his awareness, his pocket awareness, his understanding of the game, and how he already looks like a veteran. Already looks better than almost all veterans in this aspect of his game. So if you don't mind, like, subscribe. If you want to wait till the end of the video, you're going to like it anyway. So like then, I don't care, whatever. Like, subscribe, share it with your friends. Comment down below your thoughts at the end. Let's get rolling into this thing.
Bear down, sports making Chicago proud.
All right, again, all-22 review. For those who aren't familiar, earlier I mentioned that I was going to bring up something about Caleb and I was going to do a video on it. I was going to do it in relation to Justin Fields too. I don't want to. That's gone. Okay, I think you'll understand what I'm saying when we get into it, and you're going to see some things, and you'll put those own dots together for yourself. I don't need to bring him up anymore. Black Ditka on X, on Twitter, is the only one really bringing that up. It's an easy argument at this point. I was one of the biggest supporters of Justin Fields. In his years with the Bears, 3 years with the Bears, and even with the Steelers, there's one thing he never got down that Caleb is doing after. There's a difference in the first 2 games, Minnesota and the Lions, and then the next 3 games so far, capping with this Washington game, that if you didn't look for it, if you weren't watching the all-22, you'd overlook it. And you'd be like, well, he took 3 sacks in this game. So let me pull out right here. I always use my little bear down pointer right here, bear down pointer. So here's the pressure from the offensive line. You can see the team pass block efficiency, which measures pressures, opportunities for you guys to block for Caleb. Jumped from 25th after week 2 to 16 after week 3 to 11th after week 4, and now it's tied for 7th in the league. So our pass blocking efficiency, is that all on the line? Well, yeah, Ryan Poles has done an excellent job of getting Joe Tooney specifically. And then Darnell Wright back completely healthy, looking really good. One of the best pass blocking and run blocking right tackles in the league. So a pick that was scrutinized is now coming around to look like one of his best picks ever. And then add into that, Theo Benedict working his way in, Jonah Jackson. And then you've got Drew Dahlman in the middle, who's probably the bigger weakness there. But in this game, you can see 0 sacks. Well, that doesn't match your stat sheet. That doesn't match your box score. That doesn't match in a little different lighting. Sorry. Too bright. That doesn't match what it shows on paper. So here for PFF, they don't have any sacks allowed by these offensive linemen. Well, why is the big question there? So I went into, let's see. I went into this earlier. I know this is tiny on your screen, guys. I know it. This is the nerdy analytical stuff. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to explain it to you. But here's a quote from Caleb after week 16 last year from the Seahawks, the loss December 29th, before we beat the Packers. So there was a lot of scrutiny about the amount of sacks. He took 68 sacks last year, okay? Huge number of sacks. Following the Seahawks loss, he said, there's been a stupid, excuse my language, but a stupid idea behind my offensive linemen. The connotation behind my offensive line has been annoying and frustrating because they work their tail off to be able to go out there. The negative connotation behind them, they come in and work their butt off each day, each week. I've taken sacks, yes, and a good amount have been on me. Whether it's small things or getting the ball out of my hands, maybe dirting it, not trying to find the perfect route, perfect play. Maybe it's just throwing it out of bounds, dirting it, finding the check down faster. And the other one is not trying to make plays all the time. Okay, so there's his quote. Here's this year so far, okay? After week 2, now this is where I've already done extensive breakdowns earlier, so if you missed my videos, I'm just gonna recap real quick. Time to throw is not that important of a metric. Time to throw, Jalen Hurts, Lamar Jackson. Now Lamar Jackson, his pressure turned into sacks is looking pretty bad this year. He's regressed. Is that long-term scary? I don't know. I'm not gonna do a breakdown on Lamar Jackson right now, but it looks pretty bad for him right now that he's not getting rid of the ball in appropriate situations. He's regressing. Time to throw is not necessarily a terrible thing. It's whether you can navigate the pocket, whether you can see the field of vision, you can see where the pressure's coming, and your escapability to do that. Caleb's elusiveness grade as a quarterback is one of the top in the league. So he has a different ability to take 3.2 seconds than other quarterbacks that maybe take 2.7 seconds that can escape. A Jared Goff, for example. He takes 2.7 seconds time to throw, and he can't escape as much. So he's just got to get rid of the ball. Dirt it. He's got to do, as Caleb said, dirt it or get rid of it or do whatever he needs to do to get rid of the ball. He can't escape as well as Caleb can. Justin Fields could escape that way. The problem was Justin didn't see the field of vision, didn't see the open receivers, didn't see even. It was frustrating for us as fans. And this, like I said, I'm not going to go deep into this. But even if he's looking one thing, he didn't always see a defender coming at him. Caleb has a very unique ability of seeing almost like eyes in the back of his head when someone's coming at him. He's got a very unique ability. So here's Caleb through the first 2 weeks. You can see defensive pressures 30, 6 sacks taken. That's 20 pressures turned into sacks. So what he's talking about last year, and last year, as you can see right down here, 2024, he was among the league worst with a 28.2% pressures turned into sacks. So pressures that were put on him turning into sacks, that conversion rate, 28% is not good. You want that at least below 20. The top guys in the league, are going to be around 15 to 10. This year so far, Daniel Jones is at 7.2. So he's leading. I got to take a drink real quick. So Caleb right now, after week 2 at 20%, you can see week 3, he had 8 pressures on him. I got to make this smaller. 8 pressures, 0 sacks taken. So a 0.0 pressures turned to sack. 13 pressures taken, 1 sack in week 4. We had the bye week. Then week 6, we come out, 14 pressures on him, 3 pressures turned into sacks. Okay, that's 21.4 rate. Well, like we've said before on here, a lot of people think we just get stuck on PFF in this channel. We don't. We take it as a supplement, and then we watch film, and then we analyze things. You got to see what you see on the film, and then you've got to take it and analyze it with what you're seeing on paper. Well, this is one of those instances where this does not match up. Caleb is right up there with Daniel Jones, Dak Prescott, Bo Nix. He's right up there at the top with these guys because all 3 of these sacks I'm going to show you right here. So let's break them down in a bubble. This is where we're going to go into the All-22. We got our little circle pointer right here. We've got our bear down pointer. We're ready. Let's get into some of this. So number 1, Caleb's sack number 1. Let's make this one visible. And we have to take these things in context, okay? So number 1, Caleb's first sack. And this is the stuff you're going to talk to your colleagues today. You're going to talk to other Bears fans. You're going to say, hey, did you understand this about the game today? This is what we like to do the All-22 for. All right, so the situation here, we're at the end of the second quarter, 35 seconds remaining. 3rd and 5 at the 45. Okay, so we're not in field goal range. 3rd and 5. We're either converting here on 3rd down, or we're punting the ball. So here's Caleb. They take the drop back. Let's see. There we go. All right, come on. So here's Caleb. Plays developing in front of him. We do have to pause it so we don't get flagged by freaking YouTube. Boop. Please make me smaller. Good pocket. See the clean pocket here? Let's move this out of the way. Might have his open receiver right here, ready. I think he's going to see 10 coming across, Luther Burden coming across here more, just where the defenders are lying in this one. So here's Caleb. And, pressure comes. Now, here's his elusiveness. This is what we're talking about with his elusiveness. Too many things on the screen. There's his elusiveness there. He's going to escape this pressure. Now, there wasn't really much he could do about this in this instance. You can see is just a blitz that came out of nowhere for him. Not enough guys to cover. You've got, looks like Swift right there, which, Swift does a fine job, actually a really good job. There's 2 guys to pick up here. So not enough people to handle the pressure here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 coming on pressure. You got 2 handling here, 2 handling here, 1 there. He's going to blitz in here. And maybe Swift could have helped a little bit more on this one. but it is what it is. He was trying to help pick up that one. So Caleb sees it there, and he's going to evade it. Evade, evade. All right, so remember the situation here. It's 3rd and 5. You have to pick up the first down or you're punting. This is one of those situations where Caleb's going to take a self sack, and I'll show you why. And this is going to be like, oh, wow, his is just insane awareness. Boom. So there's Caleb on the sideline. Why didn't he just run out of bounds? He understands it's now when you see the other angle of this, you're going to see it wasn't just quite that easy for Caleb to just get this over, dump it over to Swift. This angle makes it look easy for that. But remember, he's being chased by 2 guys over here. One's, they're coming in here. He's getting collapsed on. And you can't just, I mean, if he pulls that arm angle back, you could easily have it strip sacked. So the awareness here, what he ends up doing, let's roll forward to the next screen. You can see it here. He tries to take a penalty. Now, if this was Pat Mahomes would have gotten this call, but it's Caleb's and you see him talking to the ref there. It's Caleb's insane awareness. He understands the situation. We're not getting the first down here. I'm going to try to take a penalty. It's smart. It's really just really intelligent. So this is sack number 1. It's a self sack, but the situation, it's 3rd and 5. You don't pick up the first down, and you're going to be punting the ball at the end of the half. So he's got to figure something out to get a completion, or you just toss the ball away, but that's not going to do anything. So here it rolls away from the pressure. That was another good angle to show. So you see Swift has to help pick this up. Dahlman, I guess, could have taken here. Tooney could have switched over, but that's not what you're seeing in the moment because this blitz came late. That blitz came a second later. So let's see, these guys are picking them up, and Dahlman's looking over there to see if they need help with that double team over there. Dahlman's looking this direction. So these guys are covering him. Swift sees here, and this blitz is going to come out. It's a blind blitz. So they're doing the best they can. There's 6 guys coming, so doing the best you can with it. And Swift that's actually a really good pickup. You see him laying into him. They're pushing him into the pile. They're piling him up. That's really good. So Caleb evades. Boom. Oh, no sack taken. Now, you can't see all the receivers at this point. Could he have flipped it over here? No, because there's another receiver. There's another defender you can't see in the screen over here. So you can't see that one. So he's going to try to buy a little bit more time. Get guys open. Nothing happening there. And then, look, he stays in bounds. He's trying to take a Pat Mahomes type penalty here where, I gave myself up already. Maybe I stepped my foot out of bounds. Maybe he was trying to step his foot out of bounds there. And then he's just going to get waylaid by those guys. Frankie Louvu. He's going to get up. And in the moment, I was like, that's a penalty. Why aren't we getting that freaking call? Freaking get that call to us. And then Caleb was going over to the ref. Let's go back to the end here. You see Caleb's going over to the ref like, hey, ref, what the freak, man? Give me that freaking call. Give me that freaking call. That's roughing the passer. I was going out of bounds. I was giving myself up, and these guys are smashing me at the end there. So, all right, so that's sack number 1. Let's get rid of that one. So sack number 1 in the moment. Let me bring that back up, I guess. 2nd down, 35 seconds left in the half. I'm sorry, 3rd down. It's either convert or you're going to have to punt. Well, the Bears ended up punting. He took the self sack. He's trying to get a penalty. So this was not like, oh, Caleb sucks. He got sacked and he didn't avoid it. It was him understanding the situation. Nobody was open. He tried to force a penalty. He tried to pull a Pat Mahomes. I actually freaking love it. All right. So let's pull this one. This is Caleb's sack number 2. Let's get an understanding of it first, though. Let's bring this up to the top. All right, so this is in the 3rd quarter. I think this is their first drive. It is their first drive after the Commanders kicked a field goal to start the second half. This is the first drive. Oh, this is freaking, oh, man, okay. So this is where Rome gets his touchdown pass. They call it back for an illegal formation. We're not going to get into that. If you watched freaking Chase Daniel, if you watched anybody talk about it, they all agree this should not have been a penalty. It's ridiculous. We'll just let this one roll for a second because here we are, 3rd and 11 after the penalty. 3rd and 11, Washington's 16-yard line. You're in field goal range. You're either getting a touchdown or you're kicking a field goal. So a small sack here is not going to kill your field goal range. You're trying to force the situation and make it happen. So here's Caleb. There's the snap. Good little pocket there forming. Where's my little circle? There's the circle. So here's your little pocket forming. You can see a stunt coming around that side. Everything's, You might have a guy quick open here. That would be a tight squeeze window in there. So nothing really out in the open yet where you're seeing something clear and obvious. Boom, everyone's covered. Tight coverage. There's Caleb in his pocket. So what does he do? At this moment, he realizes nobody's open. Every one of these guys is covered. All right, you're 3rd and 11. So you're either converting or you're kicking a field goal. So if you take a sack, it's not the end of the world. You try to force this situation. This isn't, oh, Caleb should have just thrown this away. Nobody was open, throw it away. So you're not trying to save 5 yards, 7 yards by avoiding the sack. He's going to take off and try to run, and he's going to try to find a seam here, but that defender just got a little too on his back and didn't get held off long enough. But look at all these guys covered, double covered, covered. There's nobody open for him. Covered. Nobody open for him. So he tries to take off and run. Wisely so. Caleb does a good job when he uses his legs, but just too little too late there. This is not a self-sack as in, oh, that sucks. Caleb sucks. He should have dirted the ball. He should have got rid of it. No, this is 3rd down. You're either converting or on the next play, they kick the field goal. So here it is again. Let me take this and just get that off screen. So just understanding the situation again, all 3 of these sacks are not the lineman's fault, and they're not Caleb's fault. That's the big thing to take away from this little all-22 mini session. They're not Caleb's fault. Like, they're insane awareness on his part that, well, I can't just dirt the ball. I'm not just going to get rid of it. Jared Goff would have thrown the ball away. Jordan Love would have thrown the ball away. Caleb is trying to make lemons out of lemonade. All 4 of these guys are covered extremely well. So here's from the other angle, from the back end zone angle. Covered, covered, covered. Nobody's open yet. You've got, defenders across the middle. Maybe he could squeeze it in right here. That would Caleb's done that before. He's getting those tight squeeze ones. Covered. Good blocking by the line all the way around. So everything's looking good here. Stop. He sits. You can see Luther Burden sits right there on his route. He's going to be covered. If he jumps that route, he is going to be toast. And coming across the middle, there's another defender here in the end zone. You can't see from this view. So covered, covered, covered. You saw that on the other side. Caleb's starting to realize, man, everyone's covered. I got nowhere to go. I got nothing to do here. I'm going to run. And you can see it right there. You can see that's his awareness right here where he sees the vision here. And he's got, is that Jonah Jackson? I think Jonah Jackson right there. Sealing off a good wall, but Theo Bennett on the backside is trying to just push this guy out of the play. You can only do that for so long. This is about 4 seconds into this play. So no, this isn't a negative play by Theo Bennett. Theo Bennett did a good job. In fact, if we rewind this just a little bit, watch Theo Bennett on this play. Here's Theo. He's going to cover the way outside defensive end. Over here, he's going to cover him. Let's move that behind me for a second. And let's watch it go. So good impact. Maybe needs to get a little bit lower on his base, but he's got his hands way out in front of him, stopping him, meeting him with impact. He's holding him off. I mean, look at that. Look at that seal right there. All this is really good. No one's getting through that wall right there. And you're, a good 2 seconds already into this play. They're doing a good job. The line's holding up well. Holding up, holding up. Oh, switch guys. That's what happened there. You see that? So a little stunt around. Not a stunt, but they switch off. They're just trying to make it work. Oh, and they're going to switch. He comes around the outside of Theo. Theo sees it. He's aware. So it's a good job. A good handoff by these guys, essentially. And boom. Okay, I'm going to take you on. Even pushes him back into his legs. Oh, his defenders. That's just fine. Let's get rid of this one. All right, so that's sack number 2. All right, and they kick the field goal after that. It's the situation of where it is. Sack number 3. All right. Excuse me. 4th quarter. End of the game. Okay, we're killing clock because we're already in field goal range. We're on the Washington 31. 1st and 10 at the Washington 31. Could we get some more yards? Yes. You're going to see why I'm saying it's not just killing the clock. It's trying to get more yards. He takes a self-sack of -2 yards on this one. So here it is. All right, so we're on the 31-yard line, 1st and 10. You've got, let's see here. You've got 122 left on the clock, okay? So 122 left on the clock. And snap the ball. Little play action here. Boop, play action. Going to spread out to the side. And it looks like a self-designed run if nobody's open. Now, could he have hit receiver here? Possibly. You're not wanting to kill the clock, though. So I think this is a self-designed run anyways. I think he was trying to run it, trying to see, but there's a lot of defenders here coming at him. So if it was wide open, yeah, absolutely. Throw the layup. Not completely wide open. So could he have hit in there? Possibly. It's a tight one. Now you got the defender on you. What are you going to do? Well, you can throw it away and kill the clock. You don't want to kill the clock. You want to be killing some of this clock. The Commanders are starting to get into their taking timeouts so they can get the ball back. So what does Caleb do? He could have easily thrown the ball away and not taken a sack. He slides in bounds. This is not a sack. It is technically on your stats. That's how it looks. That's how it goes down. But this is not a sack. This is him being a running back, sliding down in bounds to keep the clock going, making Washington burn one of their timeouts. And we'll end up getting another first down. Then we kick, as we know, Jake Moody kicks the game-winning. All right, here's the other angle, the end zone angle. Boom. Fakes the handoff. Play action rolls out. You got two guys on him there. I mean, he could have dumped it over. It's a hard. I mean, you're rolling to the same side you're throwing. Caleb can do that. We've seen him do that. So he could have squeaked it in there. If it's incomplete, you're killing the clock. So I think this is more of a designed run situation. And he's going to try to take off. Too many defenders there. Slides down smartly, wisely, takes the self sack. So just because it says just because it says 3 sacks, pressure turned into sack 21%. It's really a 0% on this one. Maybe you can count the second sack in there where he wasn't able to escape, but he wasn't going to throw that away. He had to force to try to get the first down. You weren't trying to preserve field position. And number 2, let's see. Let's get rid of this one. Let me pull sack number 2 back up and just show you one more time. So in number 2, I mean, you're not gonna. This is the play before. Let's jump forward here. All right, so you're not gonna. I don't know. You got to force the first down. You've got to get to. You got to get to here. You got to get to the 5-yard line for the first down. So it's going for broke on this one. If you take the sack, you're not out of field goal range. So maybe you can count this one because he wasn't able to escape the guy and he chose to extend the play. But if he's taking the sack here, you're still in field goal range. So this is not, I don't know, all three of these are insane awareness on his part. He knows it's third down. He knows he doesn't want to get rid of the ball. He knows he wants to get the first down. So he's trying right here to escape and elude and make it to the first down. And even from this angle, we didn't show this before. If he was able to escape him there, which he's done before, and roll out to this side, he could get a touchdown, a first down. It's possible he could have gotten it there. So I don't know. Any of those were possible right there. All right, guys. Let me know what you think. I'm toast. I gotta get to bed. I hope you guys enjoy your day. I hope this helps bring light and understanding to Caleb and his insane awareness. The last 2 weeks before this game, 1 sack taken, 21 pressures. This game, 14 pressures, really 0 sacks taken. These were not the same as where you're seeing in the past with Justin or even Caleb last year. Self-inflicting wounds where he says, I should have dirted it. It wasn't he even talked about in one of the press conferences where those third downs where you take a sack, those are acceptable. He and Ben Johnson have talked about that. All 3 of these sacks were completely acceptable sacks. These were not, he still needs to develop and grow. He needs to get out of his own way. No. First one, you're either getting the first down or you're punting, so you try to force the situation. Second one, you're either getting the first down or you're kicking a field goal. You're not losing range because of it. And third one, you're trying to kill the clock. So he slid. 3 sacks technically, but none of them are really showing that Caleb has insane awareness, insane ability. I really think his understanding, if he can get accurate, if he can fix some of the accuracy, get some more touch, and this is going to come with reps. Ben Johnson's offense, Ben Johnson's system, understanding the playbook, I think he's getting you can see that, a clear handling and understanding of the playbook. It's a matter of getting touch on the sideline, not throwing a bullet when he can throw more of a layup, not trying to hit a receiver where he's worried about maybe the contested catch ability and throwing it a little bit behind him instead of leading him, not planting that back foot. There's a couple plays in this one where he needed to drive it and throw it 60 yards, not plant. He relies too much on his arm strength sometimes. When he can fix those things, which I know they're working on right now, Ben Johnson in his office, excuse me, in the film room, working with him, continuing to work on the footwork, all those things are going to come for Caleb. You saw it happen with Jordan Love, where I trashed Jordan Love for the last 2 years because he's one of the least accurate quarterbacks. but his insane awareness of the pocket came along. Now I have to admit, yeah, Jordan Love is a good quarterback. Yeah, they actually signed a good contract with him because he's come along. Now we have Caleb in the same situation. The accuracy is the only issue. His understanding of the field, his understanding of his pocket, his understanding of his play caller of Ben Johnson, Matt LaFleur for Jordan Love, his understanding is going to take him to the next level. It already is. All three of these sacks were not bad sacks. They were all good sacks. That sounds weird to say, but they were all acceptable, I should say, sacks. So, hey, I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you haven't hit the like button by now, go ahead and do that. Subscribe. I appreciate you subscribing. Share this video with your friends. Let them know what Caleb's doing, how he's coming along. And we'll do some more All-22 on his pocket awareness, his pocket presence, and some of the escapes. I'll show some of the escapes as well, because he has a phenomenal ability of getting away from guys and having eyes in the back of his head, knowing when guys are going to be around him. He really does elude the pressure, and he's brought that pressure turn into sacks all the way from 28 last year to be a top 15, top 10 of elusiveness. And really, if you take some of those away that were self-sacks that, shouldn't be sacks, he's really top 10, top 5 already. So I'm really excited about what we have in Caleb. I think he has insane awareness. I think he sees the pocket better than almost any quarterback in the league. When he can get that accuracy, he's going to be fun to watch. Appreciate you tuning in. Until next time, Dub Bears and Bear Down.
Bear down, sports making Chicago proud.